Do you think that building a business is really about making more money? Because if so, guess what? I did too, guys. Now I know it's really truly about becoming more you. Of course, we're told that success means chasing the bag, getting a dream car, flying first class. But here's what they don't say. When you finally get those things and you're still empty, what then? I want to tell you guys this right now. If you're building your business, right, and it hasn't left you questioning everything, if you haven't sat at your desk wondering if any of this is worth it, you probably haven't hit the point where real growth actually began. Guys, this ain't just episode 100. This is a love letter to every version of me who didn't quit and to every one of y'all listening who's still showing up, even when it's hard. So let's dig in. What's up, industry pros, and welcome back to Raising the Bar, which is the only draping podcast on the internet. And this is where we talk about premium design, passive income, mindset mastery, so that you can build a business and a life that actually feels good on the inside, and not something that just looks good on the daggone Instagram. It's your girl, Precious Stevens, the Draping Queen. And today, guys, I am so excited because we have made it to episode 100. Y'all, this is a moment. This is a milestone, and this is a memory. So y'all know how we do. Before we get into it, guys, I want to talk in the comments. Let's have some conversation down there, right? I want you guys to let me know what's one thing that you thought success would give you that it actually didn't. And I'm going to go first. The one thing that I thought that success would give me was peace. And success is not what brung peace. So y'all don't go nowhere because I'm going to tell you all about it. All right, guys, so let's get into part one. Part one is all about the evolution that no one actually prepares you for. Guys, I started this podcast just really trying to share tips and actually be another resource, right, for those draping designers or just those designers in general that don't have a lot of information to pull from. And I really was just wanting to help someone set up their backdrop straight or definitely charge their worth, right? But guys, guess what? Over time, this podcast actually became my accountability partner. I enjoyed showing up every freaking week. And it was just like refreshing to me because I was hearing myself through, I can't explain it, just through something else, right? This mic right here, guys, this mic has heard my glow ups and my breakdowns, and so have you. Let's be real for a minute. I used to think that success was all about systems and strategy and sales, but guys, the truth is success is about self. Which is why none of that stuff really matters to me anymore. Not the way it used to, right? Being successful is really about the parts of you that get exposed when, guess what? The money is low or the money stops flowing or the followers stop engaging. They fall in love with someone else, right? Or even the clients, right? The clients, they start ghosting you and they no longer are in your inbox asking for this and asking for that. This is the part that no one really want to talk about. No one really is comfortable talking about. But guys, through my entire process, my ebbs and flows, these are the moments and the segments and the experiences that I have actually learned to just really appreciate at a different level. Why? Because guys, it really helped expose me to me, right? It's so many different versions of me, just like it's so many different versions of you. But the best version of you guys, she's the one that you build a business for, right? Because when you build her, the rest of it follows. When I first got into business, y'all, I was chasing money. Let's face it. Did you get into business because it just looked cute or because everybody was doing it or because you ain't had nothing else to do with your time? Come on now. The first thing that was very attractive is, oh, you want to make money for yourself or you could make this kind of money because that's what everybody's talking about. I really thought that success meant I could finally buy anything that I ever wanted. I could say yes to all the luxury stuff. I could flex this lifestyle that I only dreamt of. And guys, it was Not saying it didn't happen, because it did, but I so discovered that it's not the things that light me up. Guys, being able to be in my business the way I am now, like totally vulnerable, totally transparent, totally authentic, and loving every part of it, is not how it always was. When I really first started making really good money, like when I hit my 7-figure mark, things was just moving so fast, y'all. In 2022, that always will be, maybe not always, but as of now, and the years that I've been in entrepreneurship full time, which is now 7, that was my year, right? That was my year that I had all of the spikes, all of the successes. I've hit numbers and achievements that I never really thought I would. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, but there's a lot of things I did that year. And I knew that in order for me to continuously operate at this level, I had to really bring in some big heavy hitters and hire now what I would consider a machine, because I was the talent, right? But I can't be the talent and also grow the talent and do all these things. So when I first got into hiring marketing agencies and PR firms, guys, I started feeling like a freaking object, and I didn't like it. I started to feel like a trophy on someone's mantle. And that was not the experience I envisioned. The catering part, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, that part was cool. Everybody like nitpicking over you. That part was cool. But to sit here and go, all these photo shoots lined up, and you got to go to the red carpet events, and then you got interviews back to back. And then suddenly, guys, everything started feeling like more of a performance than a passion. It just did not feel the same. And but organizations or agencies and people you hire, right? They started to make me not be in love with what it was that I was doing, because they would overshadow the things that, to me, I didn't feel like were the big thing, like the most important thing. They would want to overshadow the story and the whole rags to riches stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that is a part of my story, but I don't want to run around town talking about that all the time. Like, I've done a lot of things in my business. Let's talk about the impact. Can we get to that? But it just was different, right? So I started discovering that the celebrity events, baby, they was overrated. I'm like, you are in a room full of people, the elite, and you like, baby, you just started realizing that this is just not for you. All of the things with the Uber black SUVs in and out all day. Like I said, going into a business and reaching a certain level of success, that is what I envisioned. Oh yeah, I want a chauffeur. But I was discovering that really was not my vibe at all. And to be honest, that's a big reason why I went dormant in 2023 and then continued to lay dormant in 2024, because it just wasn't clear to me any longer, like really what I wanted to do. Being able to reach these heights of success, and then now you don't even like it. You don't even want it. It just really stopped everything, right? Everything I was doing stopped feeling purpose driven. And it started feeling like a bidding war for who could package my story the best. And like I said, I didn't like it. And I, at that time, discovered that I got to do some deeper internal work to figure out, who is this person now that I evolved to be? What is it that she wants? Because whoever I was previously, now you've achieved the things that she wanted. And now that you're going to a deeper discovery of self, and you're falling in love with yourself, and you're realizing all this materialistic stuff is a bunch of BS, and it realistically don't mean what everyone thinks it means when you have an ultimate destination that you're trying to reach. As 2023 and 2024 was really self-discovery years for me, but discovering this new person that I've discovered, because I've been on the self-discovery path for definitely since I've been here in Atlanta, but now almost since I became an entrepreneur. I ain't gonna lie. Prior to that, I was in hustle land, so I didn't have time to try and discover who the heck I was or what I wanted. That wasn't even on my radar. I was only getting up and operating and making sure that I was being the best mom that I could be at that time, and making sure that I didn't need anything, my children didn't need anything, and that's just pretty much how life was. But now that I started gaining this freedom, it gave me time to see and feel and discover that this don't even mean nothing. Like, everybody running around for this. And it just started really, life became more meaningful during these phases. And I'm really grateful for those times, because it's not about trying to hide where you come from. That is the story. That is my story. I never hide where I come from. I talk about it often because I want people to understand and be relatable, that it's not about how you start. It's really about how you finish. It's not about the lack you had. It's about the lack you keep accepting or you keep telling yourself. I appreciate having that experience because that's the only thing I speak from. I speak from experience, and that's most of the things that I share with you guys. And I'm glad that you could just find whatever it is that you find in it. I'm grateful to be able to be that resource for you guys. But coming here, guys, I ain't gonna lie. I can honestly say getting out of Baltimore was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. But one thing about Atlanta, baby, if you ain't grounded, it will suck you up and spit you out. That's why you don't see me at these high events anymore. You don't see me at the most poppin' places and with the most quote unquote poppin' people. That ain't my vibe. I'm not chasing clout, guys. I'm choosing peace. And if that means stepping back so that I can realign with my real purpose, then that's exactly what I'll do. And I don't have a problem stepping out of the limelight or laying low and minding my business. I love it because when I come out of those time frames, just like I'm going into a container or going into a vault to do some work, right? Work on me. And when I come out of that, I am so clear. I am so in love with who I discovered while I was in that container. I am so excited for what life is going to look like because I know it's some shit I got to do different. And now I have the goal. I have the gonads to do it because that's what happens to me every time I go into the vault, right? To do my work. So I enjoy it. Like I really look for those phases. And every time I feel a little slightly unclear or I need some sense of direction, I only go to the one source that I know that have always given me the insight that I've needed and never failed. And that is my higher power, right? So life for me, success means getting up and going and playing in my freaking garden, right? Being able to relax on the couch with my fiance, with my family, being able to just get up and if I want to fix a cup of coffee or if I want to, whatever it is I want to do, I am not chasing a clock. I'm not hitting a stopwatch or whatever the case may be. I'm not playing by someone else's list of to-dos. That to me, I'm trying to tell you, it's like I feel rich. It's not even that I feel, I am. And I love that. And I am not willing to sacrifice this level of peace for the hustle because I know what that's like. I've been there. So realistically, the things that I treasure and cherish the most don't necessarily take money or capital. I'm just in this phase that I'm actually enjoying it. And it allows me to love my work even more because now I'm actually really able to do it because I want to do it and not because I have to pay a bill or I got to raise this kind of money. It's just different. The main thing is discovering when I was in those phases and hitting those 6-figure months or whatever it was, 50K days. That is not what brought peace. If anything, it brought the complete opposite. Like I was a mess because I had a lot of deliverables. I had a lot of people pulling me in different directions and I wasn't really happy. So that is not the stuff for me. I can only talk about me that brings me joy, right? That's not the stuff also that lasts, right? Like it's up and down. And I know some people will tell you catch the wave when it's here, but you got to be more mindful of what wave are you really trying to catch and what is it that you really want. And the only time I can have these kind of conversations with people that totally get it, they've experienced the same thing. They've made this kind of money, right? Or they've achieved this great success. Like, I just want to make 7 figures. And now they've done it. And it's, wow, this was not what it was all cracked up to be. Guys, at the end of the day, I knew I had to create change because I felt empty the same way I felt back in 2016 when I decided to become a full-time entrepreneur. That same feeling was coming back. So I did 3 things, right? I really honed in on these 3 things because they was directly tied to the things I needed to change. And number 1, I discovered, guys, simplicity is my superpower. I'm trying to tell you, I used to want the glam. Now I want peace. I want simplicity. Everything I do, I try to do the simplest things, right? I want my mornings to start slow. I need my spirit to feel full. And I know exactly how to do that. That's not going into the hustle and bustle and flying to this meeting and flying to that meeting. And that is not how I get peace. I get peace by doing the simple things such as my morning routine, right? Washing my face. I love just now doing a simple routine. Guys, I didn't have time to do this. I don't even remember how long I started. Maybe 42. I'm now about to be 45. For plus 40 some years, I've never taken care of my skin. I just was never that girl. Didn't have time. And I was always like, I got to do this. I got to do that. And I always came last. Now that's something I look forward to. I look forward to just being there in the mirror, doing my affirmations, right? Listening to whatever it is I'm listening to fill up my spirit, connecting with my higher power. That is like the best start of my day, right? If I make it to the gym, great. I'm going to have a good day then. I have not gotten yet consistent with that, but just keep on watching because I'm working on that. But these are the things that I look forward to. The most luxurious thing I own right now is clarity. The most precious thing I have is my time. And so I try my very best to protect those at all costs, right? And make sure that I am clear and can operate with full integrity because I know I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? The second thing I had to do, guys, and this was quite interesting to me because I didn't even really pay attention to this being a thing until here lately, was I had to develop emotional intelligence, right? And with developing emotional intelligence, I didn't just learn how to talk to people. I learned how to connect to people. I now value all kinds of conversations that resolve, conversations that has meaning, conversations that's valuable to everyone that's involved. And now I'm not so quick to react because I've always lived my life in reaction mode, right? I'm react. Or what you say? What? I'm trying to tell you. But guys, now even conflict can bring connection. The issue is people don't know how to resolve conflict. If you approach the conflict with growth in mind, guys, I'm trying to tell you, you don't have to walk away with, all of the chit chat. That's very unnecessary. I don't have room for it in my life. It's not to say I won't have conflict. Of course I will, right? Because everyone don't agree at all times, but it's a certain way of resolving it. Once I have a conflict with somebody, it's not, oh, I hate them now. Oh, I wish them better. No, I still wish people well. I still look at them as a person in general, as a human in general. It's just certain things we don't agree on, and that's okay. I'm just wishing more people definitely work on their emotional intelligence because it really does play a huge part in relationships. It plays a huge part in being an entrepreneur, plays a huge part in being a mom, being a fiance, being whatever it is. When you learn how to connect and talk to people, it just enriches the relationship for everyone that's involved. So I'm not done with this phase because I'm still learning. Because that old Precious, she still come out. But even in reflection mode, when I'm self-reflecting, I'm able to pinpoint and discover when, you want to know what, you could have said that different or you could have did that different. And then it feels different, right? I don't walk around with a heavy heart. I don't walk around with regret or whatever the case may be. So the whole emotional intelligence thing, I'm still on that journey of learning and strengthening. And I'm excited for what that has to bring as well. And then lastly, guys, I became crystal clear on who I serve because as I evolved, so did my audience, some of them, right? So did my audience. I no longer aim to reach the masses. I didn't want to reach a whole lot of people, right? I'm here to impact the right people. And if that's a little bit of people, guess what? I'm so comfortable with that. For me, it's all about quality over quantity every time. And that part hasn't changed, which is why I always keep my classes small. I want them to be exclusive. I want to be able to pay attention to the people that's in the room. I can't pay that kind of attention to 20 people, 30 people. I can't. And really pour into those guys, I can't do that. And me would I try, because I don't have the capacity to do that. Some people do, but Precious Stevens of the Posh Academy, baby, she don't. Because when I'm serving, I dig deep and it's really intensive. I can't explain. It almost feel like an out of body. It almost feel like an out of body experience, because when I'm done, like when I'm done teaching, it's like I'm exhausted and it's like I just got back into my body, but I have nothing left to give. That's why it takes me like 2 days or so to really recoup from a class, because it's not just the physical walking around and lifting poses. It is the pouring. I am pouring into cups. I'm filling cups. I'm doing all kinds of things. So it does take an emotional toll on me. And that's why I always take my 2 days or whatever it is to regroup and just fill back up and now is my time to get what it is that I need. So I just love that whole process though, because now I know how to do that. Whereas before I just would be burnt out and wasn't quite understanding why I was burnt out until I really understood the magnitude of what happens in that room. So yeah, like as of now, I enjoy the small intimate sessions. This is where I thrive. This is where those I serve really get what they came for. And yeah, it just makes for a much better experience. All right, now I got an action step for y'all now. I want you guys to take a moment this week, right? I really want you to reflect on how you've evolved. A lot of you have evolved. I've witnessed it with my own eyes, but I'm also in communication with you guys. Some of you that's in my mentorship, some of you guys that's maybe in the university, or just some of you guys I just talk to in general, right? And I don't think you give yourself enough credit for what you have done thus far, because you too focus on what it is you want to do. I want you to write down 3 ways that you've changed for the better, because some of us could change for the worst, child. But write down 3 ways you've changed for the better since starting your business. And I want you to honor that growth though. Like it's so many different ways I've grown. And that's why I love talking about it, because sometimes I don't recognize that I've actually grown. So do whatever you need to do. Write down your affirmations, and I'll do mine in the mirror. In the morning time, I'll do mine in the mirror, because even when I'm done writing, I'm in and out of there all day. So it's like a visual reminder of, yeah, you're making progress, right? So don't beat yourself up too hard today. Okay. All right, guys. Now that brings us to segment 2. Now, segment 2, this is all about the hard truths that I had to learn. And this is the inner work that no one sees, right? I want to give you guys some real behind the scenes lessons. For one, you can't serve everybody. Baby, you will lose your edges when trying to please everyone. I got super freaking clear on my nose, and that created space, right, for better yeses. And I thought I was clear on my nose before, but baby, this time 2025, I got even clearer with my nose and firm, really firm with my nose, because it's not in alignment with what it is I have going on. And what that has allowed, again, it just allows space for people that does fit the criteria of the type of people you want to work with, the type of people you're willing to give your time, your expertise, your teachings, right? Or just access to you, period. So I want you guys to get clear on your nose if you haven't already done so. The second thing I realize is that, guys, burnout is not always physical. It is emotional. Like I just got finished telling you guys, in 2023, I hit my wall. It was just so much. Because in 2022, I was like a machine and I was pushed by machines, right? So it was just like, go ahead, go ahead. I felt like a freaking puppet. But at the end of the day, it wasn't all from doing too much, but it also was from faking like I was okay. Most of that time, I wasn't okay, but you couldn't tell. Everybody like, congratulations on this, congratulations on that. It's so much that I achieved in 2022. But I was not okay. And I was beginning to get that empty feeling again. So that's why now 2025, my rest come first. Baby, my peace is on the calendar, period. Because it's just, I'm getting older too, y'all. I have to really take better care of myself in these phases, because I'm not that young whippersnapper that could just, snap back into place. I'm trying to tell you. And I want to be here for as long as I possibly can, because life is good. And I'm not talking about none of the materialistic stuff. Like the hell with all of that. I'm talking about how rich I am in relationships, family, self-discovery, knowing my worth, people I come in contact with. It's just freaking amazing. So I want to maximize that. But I got to definitely take care of myself, right? And I know that now rest is a big part of what I need because I give out a lot and like daily. I have my team members, they be like, wow, because they behind the scenes with me. So they see what's happening. And they like, wow, like, I don't know how you do it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, at the end of the day, this time it feels different because I have my boundaries and it's just different. I'm operating differently. So it feels different, but I got to get my rest. And it's funny because my fiance guys used to tell me, I used to tease him because he would catch a nap no matter where. It mainly be if we trying to watch a movie. Then it developed into other areas. If I'm shopping and he'd sitting down on it, I come out he's sitting there snoozing. So I used to tease him about it. And he used to always tell me that it's going to catch up with me. He was like, all right, you wait and see. You wait and see. And now it's funny because it's reversed. He teased me all the time. I'm the first one to go to bed. I used to be a night owl. Like I would be up burning the midnight oil, baby, and working. But 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Sometimes I wouldn't even make it to bed. And then he'll be leaving 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm still in here working. I can't do that no more. I don't do that no more. I don't. But now I'm in the bed like 9, 10 o'clock, I'm out. The movie is going to be watching me. We already know that now. And I've already owned up to that. So it's funny just seeing how the tables reverse. But yeah, definitely get your naps in, guys. The third thing was that consistency definitely do build confidence, guys. It's not the other way around. There were times when I didn't feel worthy of hosting broadcasts or even being on a podcast, teaching, or even leading, but I showed up anyway. And that is why we're at episode 100 today, because no matter what I was feeling internally, I still felt the responsibility to show up for the people that look to me for something, whether it's motivation, whether it's information, whether it's some kind of impact that they're struggling with that day, whatever it is. So I continuously kept going with the podcast, even knowing we are the only draping podcast on the internet. We are the best draping podcast on the internet because we tap into other things. We tap into life. We tap into business. And at the end of the day, not only was I showing up for you guys to be the resource and to share my experiences, but also showing up for me and building consistency, which is one of the things that I've always struggled with. And that's from being a Gemini and a creative. Trying to tell you, baby, it's hard to be consistent because I always got a bright idea. But this podcast really has allowed me to just see things to the end. And that doesn't mean we've come to the end. I'm just excited to have made the milestone. And the fourth lesson was everything you want, guys, it requires you to show up across the board. At the end of the day, people often talk about balance, right? And I still, to this day, say, I don't believe in the 33, 33, 30 or the even split. I don't believe work gets this, relationships get that. I don't believe in it. That has never been my experience. And honestly, I wouldn't even try to adapt to that experience because I just don't think it would work for me. But when you are desiring something, it does require you to show up across the board. And that's not just in business. If you want your relationship to thrive, you got to pour into that too, right? Same with your children. If you want a strong relationship with your children, you got to pour into that because as they grow, guess what you're doing? You have to reintroduce to them the version of you that they haven't met yet. My oldest son probably was the first that brought this to my attention. And I'm quite sure a lot of your kids probably have said it if you have multiple children. You know, that the younger kids, they got away with a lot more than he got away with. And I totally get it now. But at the time, I'm like, whatever, boy, hush. But yeah, like you're going through phases and you're learning and you're changing and you're evolving. So versions of you are changing all the time. When I look at me now, and even when my fiance first got together, I was totally different. I was totally different than how I am now. Now I am more calm. When we first got together, we were the opposite. He was the calm and I was the fire, right? But now I am developing more calm. And it's just funny how seeing that work out. But even him seeing different versions of me or evolving in certain areas or certain aspects is just, I don't know, it's eye-opening. Even with my children, you don't realize that they are looking at you the way they are. And different times, like my daughter would have projects for school, whatever the case may be. And I'm always a part of her project of how proud she is or how she's looking at me. We sit here and fuss so much. You never really realize that not only are they looking at you, but they're looking up to you, right? Her desire to gain inspiration from how I do things or how I achieve success is really, it's just eye-opening, guys. I'm trying to tell you. Growth without intention can cause disconnection, right? Because it's easy to grow. I soared in 2022, right? But I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just was growing. The momentum was there. And y'all know momentum, it goes, right? Success loves speed. And I wasn't intentionally setting anything, which is why these machines were able to get me going here. And I'm like, why am I here? Because I didn't have any intentions on what I wanted success to look like. Even in my relationships, right? Now knowing what a healthy relationship looks like for me, or as we're growing older together, this is what I would like it to look like. And then understanding what they would like it to look like. You may not agree all the time, but even in those aspects, right? Being able to connect and grow together and have those conversations and be able to understand each other at a different level takes courage. And you have to show up in that way if you see this person at your finish line. And that goes for whoever it is, not just in marriage. Or if you see this person at your finish line, you gotta show up for them. So that was big for me, because sometimes you're in the moment and things are being neglected. Maybe one time it's the children that's being neglected. Maybe another time it's your husband, your spouse, your fiance that's being neglected. Sometimes it's you that's being neglected, right? But the main thing is just understanding what is happening, being mindful of what is happening, and have the power and the courage to shift and do those things, whatever you guys do that strengthens it, right? So you're not disconnected. Guys, I'm trying to tell you this right here. This is emotional wealth, guys. I've talked to so many of my tribe members that struggle because they don't have the support, or they may have a spouse that don't support them, not even involved in their business at all. And it's sad. That's one of the things that really hurts me to hear when I'm listening to my ladies, my mentees, because it doesn't have to be that way. And sometimes it's a reminder to me that it could be like that. And I'm just grateful that it isn't, and learning what it takes to maintain what it is that we have, because it doesn't stay that way on its own. So I got to show up, right? I have to show up. I have to reciprocate. I have to be grateful and show gratitude. So take that for whatever it's worth. That was one thing that definitely helped me show up in all aspects of my life. All right, guys, if this episode is giving you life right now, I need y'all to do me a favor. One, give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that y'all liking the vibe, right? And then I need you to subscribe so you don't miss the next 100 episodes. And then while you're at it, help us out. Share this with a friend who's growing through exactly what we're talking about. I didn't say going through. I said who's growing through exactly what we're talking about. You never know how this will be able to help them. I want us to hit 100 likes to match this milestone. Guys, your support makes it all worth it. Let's show this platform that premium designers and creative CEOs, baby, they deserve to be seen and heard too. All right, guys, so now let's go into part 3. Part 3 is what I would have done differently. Kinda. Because real talk, guys, I wouldn't change much. I'm not gonna lie. But what I would do differently is a couple things. One, I would brand me more than the business. And I've said this often in the past, because I was so focused, guys, on building my company that I hid the talent, right? I really suppressed me in the beginning, and for quite some time in the beginning, because I really just wanted the focus to be on the company and not necessarily this loudmouth girl from Baltimore. But later I learned that people buy from people, and that I am the freaking brand, right? And that when I started to peel back the layers and get out there, that is when I really started to see spikes in my business, but I still wasn't actively branding me, right? I still showing up, but I'm still branding the company. And now that I'm going into full throttle of branding me, my personal brand, some of the things I do would have been a lot easier had my personal brand had the recognition that my brand has, my business brand. The Posh Academy, like people will identify with that a lot quicker because it's been around a lot quicker than the Draping Queen. So now that I'm working on the personal side of me, or Precious Stevens, that's the main things, Precious Stevens. I just got to apply the same strategies I did for the Academy. And I just wish I did that in the beginning. And the second thing, guys, is definitely hire faster and hire smarter. Now, I used to say hire fast and fire faster. And I ain't gonna lie, if you hire smarter, you won't have to fire so fast. At point blank period is I waited too long to delegate, right? To really release control, because I felt like I was doing such a thing that hasn't been created, or at least not created to the capacity that I was doing it and wanted to do it. I had to have control. And it held me back though. It really held me back from staying in my zone of genius, which is the impactful part, being the talent. Right? Being able to connect with you guys. Why? Because I was on the back end. I was building this and just doing a whole bunch of stuff that realistically I didn't need to do. And then with me doing that for so long, I developed this routine and this pattern that, ain't nobody gonna never be able to do this right. Boom, boom. And it just had me in this frenzy. I'll hire somebody really quick, right? And then I got into the point where I don't want just because social media. So what? I need to be specific. What do you know? You know how to do reels. Be very specific, because just like I want to operate in my zone of genius, I want you to operate in your zone of genius. Don't be one of those agencies or people that is all, everything is, yeah, we could do that. I could do that. And then nothing is done, or it's not done the right way. So now it's really about hire faster and hire smarter. And the team that I have now, I'm really excited with this team that I have, because we have had in the 2 months that we've been working together, we have had so many different spikes of KPIs, key performance indicators, that said we're doing the right thing, that it leads you to be excited to the future, right? It leads for excitement in the future. So it's about hiring people that are great at what they do in their zone of genius, that also has insight, right? If you have a business and someone's great at marketing, let them do what they're great at and let them make suggestions, because this is what they do. So that was my thing, right? Definitely. Right now is about hiring faster and hiring smarter. So I know you guys probably hitting those strides where it's time to hire team members. I want you guys to just think it through and just make sure you're hiring the right person for the job. Yeah, that's it for me as far as what I would change, because understanding my position as an innovator, half the stuff I went through, I'd have had to go through that. That's what innovators do. But at the end of the day, every day, right? Every delay, every detour, it's a part of my blueprint, even the ones I haven't experienced yet. And now that blueprint, guess what? I hand it to my students so that they don't have to hit the same roadblocks that I've hit or that I will hit. So I wouldn't really erase nothing. I wouldn't erase anything. I just educate you through it. So that brings us to our final part 4. And in part 4, we're going to talk all about what is next. We have been on this journey together. Even though it's 100 episodes, we've been doing this. We've been rocking and rolling for a few years now. And not only do I want 100 more episodes, but guys, I ain't going anywhere. We have had so much success with this thing in the draping industry and with people we impact and people we help, that how can I go anywhere at this point? It has really helped me discover some of the most intimate parts of myself that I am just truly freaking in love with. I kid you not, right? So I'm going to tell you guys what's next and how you can be a part of it. Number one, guys, we are putting this podcast on the map. I need you guys to really help me spread the word by sharing this episode. That's it. That's a small little token of appreciation, how you can help me, right? Guys, we deserve to be in the same freaking rooms that matter. And this podcast deserves a seat at the table. So help me help spread the word about how important, how dynamic the draping industry is, and how necessary and how vital of a role it plays in these events. And number two, guys, is the Posh Draping Studio. Guys, I'm so excited about this studio. I kid you not. Like, it's so much I wanted to do for people in my program, for my classes where I was limited because we were touring for so long. And touring is just a totally different beast. And now that my desire is to go deeper and it's just different. I'm excited to be able to host exclusive draping classes for small groups, of course, or even private one-on-ones. Like, people have been asking me to redo the private one-on-ones, but I don't know how long. It's been about 3 years since I did private one-on-ones. But now I'm being able to really craft those experiences tailored to your business needs. That's all a part about being exclusive and going deeper and serving my clients and my students at a deeper level. So I'm super excited about that. The main thing is that I'm only focused on 3 things, right? One, definitely my certified draping instructors program. That is guys, we're expanding our reach through CDI. I'm trying to tell you, I'm calling in reputable instructors to teach under the Posh Academy's umbrella, which is a reputable brand. So if that's you guys, you know exactly where to find me. All I need you to do is put CDI under this video, and then one of me and my team members will reach out to you to let you know the next steps, because we ain't going anywhere. We love what we do. And seeing my CDI ladies now, one is about to launch her class. Another one is working on her class that she's launching a few months from now. So the first cohort is over, right? Meaning we're about to start a new cohort. So super excited about that. And yeah, if you're interested, definitely just put CDI for Certified Draping Instructor down in the comments and we'll reach out to you. Another one that I'm only focusing on is Raising the Bar mentorship. Now, my mentorship, I love the fact that it's intimate. This is my signature coaching container to really grow your business, your brand, and your bank account for all of the event draping designers that know they needs it, right? This is really where you get access to me, access to mentorship, as well as new tutorials full of the new techniques, right? All of the new content that I'm creating, it goes straight to Raising the Bar mentorship. And you get weekly coaching with me via Zoom. So we don't only talk techniques. This is like the hybrid program. This is where we merge techniques as well as the business side of things. Because if you just know techniques and if you ain't making 6 figures in draping alone, I don't care what else you do, I'm talking about draping alone, then something happening on that business back end and you need some work. So we focus on both to help you build that strong, cohesive brand. And then lastly is Posh Draping University. Now this we created because I just needed something that was streamlined, right? I needed something where it could be organized with all of my older contents. Now, right now, as recording this video, it's still $7. It's a $7 membership. And this is designers' access to premium draping education for the low, right? It's $7, guys. I kid you not. Now, you'll access all of our old tutorials from the Draping Vault. A lot of our old stuff that was in our other programs are still super freaking valuable, and it still help a lot of people. But you guys don't have access to it because it's in the program. And those programs I no longer offer. So we're dumping it all inside the Draping University. So the more content that we actually release there, the more the price will increase. This started out as a free university, guys, and y'all missed the mark. I kept telling you guys in my previous videos, join Posh Draping University. So guys, now I'm telling you again, it's only $7. That is the very next thing you need to do if you really are looking to enhance your techniques or get connected to the tribe so you know what is happening. Like our classes, all our updated stuff goes inside the university under the events tab. So you'll find all that stuff down in the description, guys. At the end of the day, the main thing is I'm staying in my zone of genius. I'm trying to tell you, My business thrives when I'm doing exactly what I'm doing right now, which is create the freaking content. A lot of you guys don't know some of the stuff I offer, which is why I'm doubling down on our content, right? That's my zone of genius. It's going to be more fire, more value. And main thing is that's what I'm built to do. I am built to teach. And that's what I love doing. So guys, don't worry. It's a lot of new things coming down the pipe. I just need y'all to stay connected. So for some of you guys that are new, that may not know what your next step is, down in the description, guys, you will find a link that says book a free 15-minute discovery call. Guys, this is a free call. It's only 15 minutes. And realistically, that's all I need to help you determine what your best next step is. We offer so much here, and I would hate for you to enroll into something that you really didn't need, or I would hate for you to purchase a class that you really wasn't prepared for. So just look down in the comments to get the link to that free 15-minute discovery call, and then go ahead and book your slot, and then we'll be talking soon. So guys, I want to thank you for riding with me for 100 episodes. This podcast isn't just about draping, y'all. It's about designing a life that reflects your evolution. That's what it's all about. It just so happened for me and for a lot of you guys, draping is the vehicle, right? Guys, next week though, I'm dropping the growing pains. Guys, when you outgrow the business you built, what next? And baby, it's personal. I'm trying to tell you, it's personal. But listen, guys, if this episode lit a fire in you and you're finally ready to stop guessing and start learning how to drape the right way, don't close this video just yet. I want you guys to click right here on this playlist that I'm pointing to, because it is packed with real tutorials that'll teach you the professional techniques that top designers are using to book those premium clients. Now, whether you're just starting out or you need to clean up your techniques, guys, these videos will definitely help you level up. So stop scrolling, start watching, and let's elevate your draping game together. This is Precious Stevens, and I'll see you at the top. Bye, guys.